Hello everyone. Today we will do our last Hannah Arendt. Our last what? Political thinker. Now this is very unique reason because first time now we are going to talk about empowered women. Not that empowered. She suffered lot of atrocities. She was in Nazi Germany. And if you know what occurred in Nazi Germany, then you could feel the pain she went through. She saw the times when Jews were being holocausted, not even treating as humans. There were posters on shops in Germany, dogs and Jews not allowed. ठीक है? Things like this have not occurred at this precedented level. So if you know this, then you should be feeling the pain she had. And that is why we see that her thinking is influenced by that. His methodology is not like others, that is scientific or let's say ideas. No, not like that. How she understands the world, how she views the world, she views it from experience. And she wants her readers to experience, to feel. She describes her thinking more like thinking without barriers. Because when you have a preconceived notion that this is right, this is wrong, this is the limit, then you are restricting yourself from understanding the whole truth. What is right, what is wrong. I don't know about you, but your parents must be telling you this is right, this is wrong. They don't even know why they are saying that. Section 377. What was previously wrong is now right. Sati Pratha. Previously good, now not even bad. It is like inhumane. Child marriage. Pehle good. Now taboo. So you understand her thought, her thinking is without barriers. You should detach yourself from what you know to be accurate. Every understanding is a misunderstanding. We have seen this. But because most of her thinking is from experience, what she writes is from experience, sometimes it is very hard to describe what you mean with words. Because what is words? Words are in a language, and language is not for you, it is for others. I can call a laptop a quark. What is this? This is something I'm saying. When I call my laptop a quark, I know what I'm talking about. I know I'm talking about laptop. Only for you to understand, I'll have to call my laptop so that you understand. I can understand laptop by calling it qua also. ठीक है? So what I experience, what I feel, I cannot always explain it in words. Who am I? I am Hannah Arendt. So obviously, if I'll not be able to use the words properly for you to understand, because it is something that I feel, experience, then it means whatever I'll be writing, my writing, it will be very, very complex. You won't get to understand it very easily. With very little efforts, you cannot understand my writings. You will have to l- remove the barriers of your thinking. You will have to feel. This complex method is termed as phenomenology. Feel, experience, not able to describe the event with words. Words are not enough. My writings, what are they? I have written a political work. Then I have also written a philosophical work. What is my book called? On Origins of Totalitarianism. What is my philosophical work called? On Human Condition. Because I am removing barriers of thinking. Remember, whatever I'll be saying will be very complex to understand. Sometime it might defy what you actually believe to be true, or let's say logical. You will want to find logic कि भाई dialectics is not there, ये not there. I am not talking about it. What I am writing is based on feel and experience. If you have not felt it, if you have not experienced it, you will not understand it. And hence, this gives a lot of opportunity for other people to criticize my work. Or let's say you can say that I am very, very controversial. See, she is saying that. No, I have lived that. I have lived the Holocaust. I have experienced it. I have experienced the atrocities. I have felt it. I know it is true. If you want to confirm it, find a person who have felt that. Find a Jew who was living in Nazi Germany and ask him to read my work. He will know what I am talking about. You have to be sensitive to what went with those people. Kasab, I am not living, I am not alive today. But if I was living, I could have said that Bhai Kasab was a poor fellow. Kasab was a poor fellow who did not know what was right or wrong. Nobody does. You are taught that. And he was taught that this was the right thing to do. That is why he did it. Everybody tries to do the right thing, but sacrificing yourself knowing you will not come alive. So your right must be very, very right according to you. Is only Kasab at fault? Or aren't we, as a nation, not able to develop good relation with Pakistan, help it stabilize like a small brother, all participating in his collapse? Good thing I am not alive today. I am not saying these things. But had I said those things, and if I was alive, what you would be doing? You would be criticizing me. I would be controversial. I lived in the times of great Führer Hitler. Yes, I am a German. And why I am able to feel and experience all of those atrocities? Because I am a Jew. I am Hannah Arendt. I survived the Holocaust. I went to United States of America. I took asylum there. And when I went to United States of America, I saw the life is good. People are living happily, coexisting together. Yes, there are blacks here, and they feel some level of segregation. But even that is not compared to what happened to us, my family members, my relatives, my friends. They were killed in a room with gas, poisonous gases. Why? Simply because the policy of Hitler was Lebenseram, more space. He needed more space. That's it. He needed more space. For what? So that, according to him, Aryans could develop and live freely. Couldn't you have built multiple stories buildings? You really had to kill us. What have we done to you? You are Aryans, you believe you are Christians. Jesus Christ was a Jew. Christianity is a religion which was made after Jesus Christ died. Jesus was a Jew himself. So, if by logic even you go, what was our fault? I do not understand. In United States of America now, what I am going to do? I am going to tell people about what happened in Nazi Germany. And not just Nazi Germany. I am also going to talk about more atrocities that went in other nations as well, like in Stalin, Russia. I am very thankful for United States of America for giving me asylum, and I am in awe of its democracy and of its prestige that it gives to human rights of its citizens, equality. What a beautiful term, equality. I know what it means. I have lived in Germany. I was a Jew. I survived the Holocaust. I have survived this room, but most of my family members did not. Obviously, World War II has ended. Hitler is no more, but what he did to me is still alive in me. Whatever I am telling you is the truth. But obviously, World War II has ended and Cold War has begun now. There is USSR, there is USA, and I am going to write is about why Nazis did what they did. How can somebody be so cruel? Somebody lacking not even a 0.001% of empathy for fellow human beings. And I'll be writing about Stalin, Russia, USSR. While I'm living in USA, obviously other people will think that I am politically motivated, as if United States of America is paying me to talk bad about USSR. But no, I know what I'm talking about. I've lived here. I know what people must be going through in Stalin, Russia, because both the states are totalitarianism. Both the states are totalitarian. I will explain you what totalitarian is. Now, my political work you have called as politically motivated because I am criticizing USSR and this is a time of Cold War. But my second book that is on human condition, it is not political, it is philosophical. What I want to give here is my theory of action. Obviously, my work here will also be directly getting influenced by what I have experienced in Nazi Germany and what I have encountered is that the most important duty or function of a human is participation in politics. Had people participated in politics in Germany, not giving just Total submission and power to one person, that was Hitler. I think my family members could have been saved, my relatives, my friends. We Jews have been great scientists and intellectuals all, all throughout history. Albert Einstein, whole world regard him as one of the greatest mind ever to live on this planet. He also shifted to United States of America. Niels Bohr, all German. Heisenberg, Schrodinger. What have we done? How can man be so brutal, so not like human, inhuman? Hence, I say that most important function of a man is participating in politics. I can call this civil society activism. That is, I participate in political affairs in all the capacity that I can. Because when you do not participate, bureaucracy, bureaucracy takes over. Who is bureaucrats in India? IS, IPS, IFS, IFOS, ITS, ETC. They are not alone. What about the section officers? What about the assistant section officers? What about the upper division clerk? What about the lower division clerk? All part of the bureaucracy and they take over. And when they take over and people are not participating in political affairs, they also become incapable, incapable of justifying what is right order, what is wrong order. They just know what to follow. They just know how to follow orders. My third book is not actually a book. It is something I wrote for a newspaper in USA. Hitler himself did not kill all of those Jews. He just gave order. Who will give? Who will execute these orders? Some IPS of Germany. I am not going to call it GPS. This is not a funny issue. IPS. And that IPS officer was in charge of executing this order of killing Jews. He killed millions of Jews by filling them in rooms with poisonous gases. Why? Because to free space, nothing else. For this particular reason. For this particular reason that they believed that Jews are not worthy of living, only Aryans should live here. What is Aryan? Nothing. Random concept. This IPS officer was, even after World War II, he was alive. He escaped Germany, but good thing, he got caught. Trial started in court as to what and why he did what he did, and I was hired to watch those trials and write about that man. His name was Eichmann. My paper is called Eichmann in Jerusalem. Jerusalem is in Israel, its capital. Israel is a Jew state. So, this is what we are going to see in Hannah Arendt. With brief, you already having. Let's try to move to the major concepts. So, let's start with the first book. And here, what we have to understand is totalitarianism. Why Hannah Arendt? Why Hannah Arendt analyze this concept of totalitarianism? It is her book, right? On totalitarianism, on origins of totalitarianism. Now, why I am going to talk about it? Why did Hannah Arendt analyze this totalitarianism? Because she suffered the atrocities she experienced, she suffered, she felt, she knows what it is like to live being a Jew in Nazi Germany. What is my method of analysis? Phenomenology. I want you to feel, experience, and if you don't get it, then don't say anything. And understand, this work has been depicted as one of the best analysis of totalitarianism. So it is very, very significant. No other work like this. What is totalitarianism? Remember what I told you, what my thinking is like. I do not have words to describe what it is like. I know what I want to say, but I do not have those words in language. Language is made for other people. This is something that I have experienced very personally. So, Hannah Arendt has described totalitarianism as totalitarianism is, wait for it, totalitarianism. It implies that there is no other example, no words, no example I can tell you about it. You can understand only if you have lived in a totalitarian state. In her words, To understand totalitarianism, one has to be a Jew in Germany during the time of Hitler. If you want to understand what totalitarianism is, then you have to be a Jew in Germany during the time of Hitler. For others, you think like totalitarianism is nothing but rule of terror. Rule of terror. Can you call this rule of terror characteristic of totalitarianism? Yes. Do we see totalitarianism now? What is North Korea? It is rule of terror. We know nothing about what is going on in it. People are supposed to get haircut off. Their supreme leader Kim On Jong. ठीक है. So they have national haircut. Now, why? How come she is not able to give examples? There is no other example like Nazi Germany. Why? How did Mongols rule? Who was Genghis Khan? Wherever he went, he killed. So why can't she give example of Genghis Khan, or anyone else? Because according to her, never in history at this scale violence has been used. Unprecedented terror, unprecedented use of violence, like no limit. Totalitarian. Total is the keyword. The state will control what you do, what you think and speak, even your soul, even your personal sphere, what you believe in. Total control in all aspects of life. This is totalitarian. Authoritarian and totalitarian. Authority keyword, total keyword. The difference here, they control all aspects of your life. All aspects. China, is it authoritarian? Yes. Russia, is it authoritarian? Yes. You can call Modi also authoritarian in some regards. All regards, I am just saying some to be not good, not to not go to jail. ठीक है? They use violence, force to control all aspects. So for them, this is means to achieve the end. Control is the end. Violence or force is the means. What is sedition charges on GNU students? Means. Force is the means to control. In totalitarianism, Hannah Arendt says, violence is in itself an end. What is the end? Violence. What is Taliban? Violence is not means. Violence is end. Violence is violence. Nothing else. Let's think of Taliban, or let's say Al Qaeda, or let's say ISIS. Totalitarian. Violence is an end in itself. All killing. You're killing your people, you're killing anyone. Why? Just because that is what is the goal. Violence. What was Kasab doing? Killing. In the end, also, he got killed. So, just violence, nothing else. How will it start? ISIS. Its basis would be terror. You will bomb some place, you will create terror in the minds of people, you will start ruling that area. So, you have used terror to start ruling, but now you have to say, na, कि भाई, why I am ruling? I have to justify my rule. I cannot say because I use terror. So, what I'll say? Jihad. Or random ideology I will give. Let Sharia law we will implement, caliphate we will bring back. Arey bhaiya, post modern world we are living in. You are wanting us, not us, you are wanting or making people believe to live in a medieval society, medieval world order. How is that possible and what will that achieve? In a world of internet where you get free porn, you want to achieve a society where you will not grant women even basic dignified rights. People are following you not because your ideology has some sense in it, it is because the basis is terror. They know that if they don't say yes to whatever you are saying, they will be killed. Who wants to get killed? No one. So they'll say, okay, let's implement jihad, sharia, caliphate. Then you say, I am the caliph. We say, okay, you are the caliph, cool. If we don't say you are the caliph, you will kill us. What is the goal? Agenda? Really? This? Medieval world? Are you stupid? Then why are you using telephone? Why are you using these guns? Fight with swords? You know that others won't stop. Others won't start fighting with swords. So you are adopting with AK-47 and drones and chemical weapons. But at the same times you do not want to adopt to the latest whatever we are doing with your women, with your men, modern education, modern clothing. No. So there is no goal. You are just doing what you do. Total control you want to have. So what Hannah Arendt says is that totalitarian state will use these two things: terror as base. And then to justify that base, you will use some random ideology. What was the ideology of Hitler? Aryan, purest breed, superior, superior of all the races. Let's say ISIS, new caliphate system ruling the world. But how do you support this argument? Because you are a German, you are Nazi, you know everybody believes in science. Germans are very good in sciences. So you use the theory of Darwin. Darwin gave the philosophy of, oh sorry, scientific theory of natural selection, survival of the fittest. Natural selection. So you are saying that Aryans are fittest, and to make Germany strongest, you need to remove the weak ones. Who are the weak ones? Jews. On what basis? I have no clue. You use terror to base your regime. Now you justified it with an ideology, and you are giving weight, vajan, to that ideology by using some scientific theory that has no relevance to whatever you are giving. But obviously, people are fool. They will believe you. ISIS. I will bring back capital caliphate system, Muslim rule, Islamic rule in the whole world. How will you base it? Base it on history. History में it was a time, there was a time when Islam ruled the world. Acha, when? Okay, you ruled most of the world, but not all of the world. And it was not very peaceful all the time. Sure, it was very peaceful in India, but it was not. And you cannot use medieval history context to justify your today's rule. Then you are declaring yourself to be caliph, and you are bringing in holy book Quran. Have you even read it? Nor have the people, because you guys are so poor there. You do not even, you cannot even afford this holy book in the hands of each individual. So they have to believe what he's saying because they think that he has read the book. He has also not read the book, only two, three lines. That justifies his ideology. What is the role of this person? This is person A, and this is person B, and this is person C. And let's say this is A dash, this is A double dash. They are here, and B is beating. And let's say C is wife, and he is husband. And publicly, he is beating her. Who is at fault here? This person or these person as well? Because you are watching him beat her. What are you doing? Nothing. This is very much Indian culture, I am telling you. You will see injustice happening in front of you, but you will say, Arey, hame kya? What do we care? Let's do our work. रोज का है? रोज का नहीं है. And what eventually happens is that this becomes daily routine and you become comfortable कि ठीक है normal ही तो है. Is it normal? You have sworn that you will abide with each other in good and bad, in health and illness, at your best, at your worst. Nowhere have you taken any vow कि I will beat you. This is not at all normal, but you make that normal because you do not do anything. To make yourself feel better, you think that this is normal. Arre, who are you helping? No one, at least not her. What is her fault? Think of the mental state of this woman getting beaten in front of these people, knowing that others are watching me getting beaten, yet nobody is coming to my aid. Nobody is coming to my help. Nobody is saying that this guy is wrong. What did I do? Am I really that bad? Even if I am bad, what right does he have to beat me? And why do I have to take that? And why is no one coming? If they have eyes and if they have hands, why can't they come and say that this is wrong? To educate him, to tell him, think of the mental state. And she knows that tomorrow this will happen again, and then day after tomorrow. Because Indian culture is like that. If she says that I will be taking a divorce, even her own parents would be like, Arey, too modern you are now, huh? This does not happen in our family. Arey, जैसे your family is तो भैया ruling family of the kingdom. No, you are no one. This I am talking even in the normal rickshaw wala families. Good occupation, nothing about it. I am saying that even the most worst, or let's say most unfortunate conditions financially, even there, these kind of explanation they give. Our family, अरे what your family यार? Now think, Jews getting killed, taken away from their home, and others are looking and watching. Meanwhile, this person is Jew and he is being taken away. कि भाई, and everybody know कि अरे yes, he is gone, this house is empty, he will be killed. What are you doing? You are electing that leader, democratically elected leader, Hitler. What will go on in the mind of this person who is Jew, who knows that I am being taken away to die? Why? Because apparently I am not fit. What was the criteria? No criteria. Just I don't have blue eyes. What these people are passive participants. It is not that only one person, this person is beating his wife. No, you are also, you are also, you are also. You are passive participants. All of you are passive participants. You did not stop or raise your voice. Ki bhai, what is this? Why are you taking him? Wasn't he your friend or neighbor? Hannah Arendt calls for active role, active role of civil society. ठीक है? In India, we will see one person smoking in public, urinating on roadside, throwing garbage, littering. We will not say anything to him. कि भाई हमें क्या? What do I do? So you are also contributing. It is not his property or his land. It is my land. It is all of yours. How can somebody do what he wants? You are also participating passively. Don't live in the illusion that if you are not urinating on the roadside or you are not throwing garbage, littering, then you are okay. You are not okay. You are a passive participant. We have done Karl Marx, and I hope that you felt something while discussing Karl Marx, because Marxism has a appeal. It has an appeal to it. It appeals to people. Why? Because most of the people have jobs and are workers. So its appeal is very large. Capitalist will only be one or two for these many. So the appeal of Marxism is too much. What Marx asked was to kill these capitalists. What Hitler asked was to kill these Jews, because people do not like Jews in Western world. According to them, Christ was killed by Jews. They do not logically think that bhaiya, it was a time when only Jews were there and Christ himself was Jew. In a Jew society you are living in, earlier it was pagan. So if Christ is Jew and living in a Jew society, obviously if he's being hanged, Jews are hanging him, na? And your ancestor must have been a Jew as well or a pagan. After 00 only you would have become Christian. Then further bifurcation in 700s when third Abrahamic religion, Islam, would come. They are all same. Jew, Christian, and Islam. They are, all three of them are Abrahamic religion. They do not differ much. You can read about it. The differences are very few. And what we observe in Jew Bible and Christian Bible is that they give a fair account of history. Let's say history keeping was practiced that time. And it is what Bible is. Obviously, then few random stories they will include for igniting curiosity and some ideological propaganda, but that is different. In fact, Christian and Islam are very much same, two same. One of the core difference is that in Christianity they believe that Son of God is Jesus Christ, whereas in Islam they do not agree that Yeshu Mashiach or Jesus Christ was Son of God. They believe that Christ was messenger, messenger of God, prophet, early prophet. Now, violence. How you are justifying violence? You are using some kind of ideology, backing it up with Darwin theory, let's say, or any whatever history or any notion that people believe in. You are using that to give it weight. The violence you have already done to establish your base, your control. This is what just justification. China, Xinjiang province. According to the latest reports, almost 10 lakh people of Uyghur Muslims have been detained in camps, re-education camp. You can call it mind wash camps. How are they justifying it? First, there is no need to justify. They are making sure that Western Europe spreads the news that bhai, they are nothing too harsh is going on in it. Second, they are keeping Pakistan as a very good friend because only Pakistan, see, Kashmir is here and Kashmir may we have not done anything. And everywhere Pakistan is saying about Kashmir, Kashmir, Kashmir. Now tell me, Xinjiang province is also neighbor to Pakistan. Don't they see what is going on there? Uyghurs are Muslims. But then again, money speaks. What is your justification? According to them, Xinjiang is populated by Muslims, Uyghur Muslims, who can easily get influenced or let's say radicalized by fundamentalist Islamic propaganda. Same thing occurs every time you try to justify it. Now, how does totalitarian regime emerges? आएगा क्यों? If this is so bad, why will people support it or get influenced by these leaders who are totalitarian in nature? Let's say Hitler, Stalin, or let's say even your Modi, just for our understanding. Why do masses or people get so much influenced by these leaders. Understand what did Plato say? What were sophists teaching the ruling class in Athens? They were just teaching that by money and power is the source of happiness. And how to acquire this power? By oratory. What is oratory? You all know in NCRT you have read Hitler was a great orator. Same thing for Modi. मित्रों, they have the tendency to speak about issues not which are not actually issues. They basically appeal to your identity. They try to appeal to your identity because you cannot separate yourself from your identity. Hindu, they will make sure you believe in some nonsensical crime that occurred to you, with you, 800 years ago. Arey bhaiya, your age is 70% population is under 35 year of age. You are saying that 800 years ago this happened to us. Arey what us? I do not know anything. I am what, 24? So 25 हो गए अब तो, 6 November. But what do I care कि भाई 775 years ago what happened, and that too I have not seen, nor have you. How do you know what happened? But people are uneducated and fool, and they become victim to their identity. Everybody want to feel, to have an identity. India, you could have been Indian only for 70 years. Your Indian identity 70 years, but your Hindu identity 2000-year old, more than that in fact, 4000 if you take Rigved. Same with Hitler. The time was after World War II, World War One. Germany was very much in turmoil. Huge damages it had to pay to Britain and France. People were not having jobs, food, nothing. In times like this, everyone wants कि भाई somebody comes and say कि everything will be okay, or let's say अच्छे दिन आएंगे. They never tell you किसके. I guess they were talking about them. So whenever you will not have stability in life, these kinds of leader emerges. They will appeal to your identity. They will have great oratory skills. They will fill you with emotions. They will appeal to your emotions. Babri Masjid, BJP has been in existence for a very very long time, but only after 1992 it started getting prominence because it appealed to Hindu identity. And yeah, Hindu, it is only a number game. Most Hindus are unemployed, uneducated. This is true simple fact. ठीक है? Your literacy rate. What is literacy rate? That basically this person knows how to sign. That's it. You're literate. This is your definition. These people you are appealing to. Why? Because unka vote also is equal to my vote. I won't get influenced, but their vote is also equal. Anyhow, corruption charges. 2G, 3G, coal, CAG reports. This all occurred in around 2011-12. Are you seeing where I'm going? Alternate politics started. Anna Hazare movement against corruption. New party getting formed. AAP party. Dynamics changing. People's trust was eroding. Social and economic crisis. Inflation rate too much. Oil prices high. Social and economic crisis developing. At this time, some person is coming and saying that, "Bhai, I will make, let's say, what does Trump say? I will make America great again. America first." Same. He's not even talking about India, he's saying Hindu. If you say Indian, many people will not get convinced. Not everyone feel too much Indian. ठीक है? But when you say Hindu, everyone is a Hindu, bhai. You vote, he come back, and then he starts making you Indian. Patriot. Everybody is a patriot. And we see Hitler also doing the same. He made German people feel like German. Women getting medals to have more kids because army you have to fill. Students in classes every morning listening to Hitler and Hitler's praise. You are making them patriotic and patriotic. What is the sole cause? Social and economic crisis. When people are not stable, if you are not stable, then what are you? You are vulnerable. This is the time when these leaders emerges. Hannah Arendt also blames modernity. Now, modernity of Hannah Arendt is very symbolic in nature because, according to her, modernity begins with nuclear explosion in Hiroshima. So, what does it symbolize? It symbolizes that by modernity is killing humanity. Humanity. Humanity has an aspect of sympathy, feel, empathy, love, fraternity, not of your national people, other fellow Indian, no, for your fellow human beings. Humanity, human. Every human deserves that. Modernity is killing humanity. Modernity begins with Hiroshima. World War II, when ended. So, what World War One was? World War One was nothing but a war for colonies. यही तो था World War One. What was World War Two? World War Two is economic sphere. Revenge of Hitler, and basically trying to make my sphere in the world the prime one. But yet, two different kinds developed, capitalism and communism. Two different blocks, and hence Cold War. They kept on fighting. Capitalism won. 2008, capitalism stopped. Then again, new, but we will try to do that in ideology. You have to see this is Hannah Arendt, you have to feel. So that is why I'm saying so much. There is nothing much to explain, you have to feel. Because these are only her crux. Okay. And always try to think about mass psychology. Because we are not trying to learn about how a human nature works. For that, we will come to her another book. Right now, we are talking about mass psychology. So you can say that by totalitarian regime, if we want to understand, we can understand just mass psychology. When people are weak and vulnerable, mass means mob, then these leaders will emerge. And why those leaders will see, Hitler was also democratically elected, but he kept on doing what he wanted. How could he do what he want? Because this class was separate from politics. They were depoliticized masses. They were like, हमें क्या है यार? They are depoliticized. They do not care about what is our India. You take na. We do not care about what is our policy. Nobody talks about what is our policy in Africa, or what is our policy with USA, or our policies with, let's say, total foreign policy except Pakistan. We do not care about, and even in Pakistan, we do not care about actual policies. What we care about is military tactics. What is our way? How can we defeat them or win over them? That's it, nothing else. Internally also, there is no feel that way this should be the way for development, or that should be the way. Government does something, and if you have issues, then you go and say कि भाई, our cars are not selling. That's it. And that is not even you, that is the capitalist, because उसी का ही आदमी is Modi. So he will say that, अरे, what is going on? That's it. Where do you come? You come nowhere. You are depoliticized. And according to Hannah Arendt, when these depoliticized masses, when they get the right to vote, then totalitarian can emerge. अब सोचो, depoliticized है, and if you put India in lot of strain, 2G scam, 3G scam, oil rising, 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 I think $140 per barrel was the price around 2012-13 because Russia attacked Ukraine. Remember that time? Crimea, Crimean Peninsula. So Russia was sanctioned, so prices escalated a lot. Now prices are very down. There are no stories of scams, but now it is too late because people were depoliticized and people were weak and vulnerable. Remember, Kisan were doing suicide, farmers were doing suicide, so they were weak. Most of the people, 55% population, is engaged in agriculture, weak and vulnerable, depoliticized, no idea what are the policies, what should be the policies. They just know about them, nothing else. They do not know what budget is, they do not see how much fiscal deficit is bad or good, and they have the right to vote. And this great orator started talking about Hindutva, Hindu, making you feel that good days are coming. We have you now. These kind of leaders are called demagogic. Demagogic leaders. That is, they are very polarizing type. They will make you choose between yes or no, right or wrong. Either nationalist you are or anti-nationalist you are. Nothing else. No in between, no either, no other. Just two options. Same thing we are seeing, witnessing right now. And we see rise of mobocracy in totalitarian regime. We see mobocracy because it is mobocracy ka rule only. How can a section of society be killed without approval of all the people? At some level, they are giving their approval. Mob rule, bhed jal, bheed, cases of lynching. What are these? Mobocracy. When have we started seeing them? Under whose rule? I am not saying anything. So, let's see her views. By now, I hope you understand pura totalitarianism of Hannah Arendt. Now, what is the solution for this? Obviously, very simple. This depoliticized masses, we have to politicize. And how will that happen? Only when people will start acting in responsible manner. If something is wrong, you speak, you take active participation in politics. If you do these things, obviously, how will totalitarian emerge? If you are acting in responsible manner, you will ask questions. If you will ask questions, do you think? Do you think you can escape the questions? Right now, nobody is asking question to him. Have you seen any interview? No. Akshay Kumar is taking his interview, yeah, and he's talking about, sir, do you eat mangoes? No. There are a lot of issues, भाई क्या पूछ रहा है? His second question was, sir, mangoes you eat by cutting or like sucking? Dashari Am. Literally, this is 1 hour episode, 1 hour interview before election. अरे भाई इलेक्शन है, you talk about development, you talk about initiatives. No mangoes you are talking about. ठीक है बट क्या कर सकते हैं. So this is our solution. Same thing with you also. If you act responsibly, you reply over the group कि भाई what is your issue, what else do you need. If you participate in class, in dialogue with me, then I will also be very answerable to you. I will try to cover things more holistically, right? But if you don't, I could also just, one day ideology, one day IGB, done syllabus. I can say that. So you have to be responsible enough. ठीक है? Coming to her views on politics, on human condition, her second book. Now, she has given theory of action, and according to her, there are two kinds of action. One is action. I know it is weird, but one action is action, and other kind of action is thinking. The issue is, I will tell you that she is actually a German. ठीक है. So let's say if German there is a word, let's say called Kiewostow action, and let's say if you are saying that one is shine shine shine, I random words I'm saying shan jim jim jim, and one is version. Point is when you translate them, then it becomes action and thinking. ठीक है, because obviously English language is the language of poor people language. English is गरीबों की भाषा. ठीक है, as I've I think told you or not, we have Masaji, Masa for, you know what Masa is, Mama, Chacha, Tau. Every word very specifically telling who I'm talking about. In English, you just have uncle. You have no clue who I'm talking about. So it is poor people's language. And when those poor people try to convert, then this is what we get. ठीक है. So this is Vita Activa and Vita Contemplativa. But you learn it like action and thinking. Two kinds of action. One is action, other is thinking. Now, what is important? So understand, according to her, action is more important than thinking, because obviously, can you fill your stomach by thinking? No, action only. So, very crude understanding if you want. So, obviously, action is more important. Now, she categorizes this action part into three. One is labor. This is one kind of action. One kind of action which is a action. Understand? Action, action. Now, this action ka we are bifurcating. Labor, one. Second will be your work, and third will be, now this is going to be too confusing. action. Now, understand, don't try to get confused. This is translated, that is why this issue is. Theory of action. Actions are of two types. One is action, one is thinking. What kinds of action are there? Labor, work, and फिर से action. Now, which is more important in this action? Least important is labor, then work, and then action. LWA. Labor, work, action. Labor who does? All animals. All animals does labor. Labor is what? To get food. That is what you do. Why do we call those people who make buildings, construction workers, laborers? Because they are working to get food, not iPhone. ठीक है? They will not be getting iPhone from the wages. They will be getting food. So all animals perform this task. Hence, it is the least important. Then there will be work. Now, these are the activities that you perform that will not just get you food. Now, we are not talking about food. This will get you iPhone. Let's say you are, let's say you are, let's say you are even IAS. So, who are you? Not you say IAS, but some, let's say, businessman or some trader. Then you are not working to get just food. You are working to get iPhone, one car. So, this is work. This makes your life worth living. And then there comes action. And now what this will be? Only humans will perform this. Only humans. Now tell me, work. Does animal work? Yes. Ants, or let's say bear. They store food. ठीक है, they hibernate to make the life worth living. They do that, right? They store food, they eat a lot of food before hibernating. In action, no other animal perform this. What does this include? Obviously, what was the agenda? That people start getting politicized. So, participation in politics. If you are political, you are performing action. And when you see, I'm saying that this is only for humans. So, only when you will perform action, that is participating in politics, then only you will achieve human conditions. So, think Jews killing Germany, they were not human conditions, animal conditions. भाई क्या कर रहे हो? इंसानों को you are killing. Those are not human conditions. Now, also important, labor when you are performing for food, for your, this is basic necessity. So you have no freedom or control over this. You have to anyhow perform. iPhone you can or you cannot, but some level तो आपको बिजली बिल etc fan, you can live without a fan, you can live without light, but it would not be very worth living, right? Without Big Boss on television, how will you live? I तो भैया can't. तो I need colors TV. ठीक है, 10:30 Big Boss, because Big Boss is life. Just kidding. Point is, it is not necessity of your life, but it makes your life worth living. So you have, let's say, partial control. Not total control, partial freedom. I would like to have a private jet also, but it is not in my control, right? Maybe I'll get, maybe I'll not get. I will want to have a until also, like Ambani. Not like Ambani, I want that Ambani wala house only. It would be not in my control. But participation in politics, I can completely have my opinion. I do not like Modi. As simple as that. I am totally free in that. I am participating. When I vote, I participate. I can vote anyone. And that only will achieve human conditions when we all vote freely. Yeah, taking active role in what is going on in the world, reading daily newspaper. Now, when I am politically engaged, or let's say when I am in sync, when will I be political? When I'm performing action. When I'm performing action, I'll be political. I'll be in sync with politics. Now you know about me. You know I do not like Modi or his whatever he is forwarding. So you know about me that I do not like this thing, Hindu, Muslim, etc. I do not believe in that thing. You also know that yeah, I do not believe in religion also technically. ठीक है. So you know what happens when you perform action? You reveal your identity. Because what words are? Today people say not to reveal but to hide. You speak not to reveal but to hide yourself. Everything that you believe in, but you will say something completely different. Every word you speak is to hide something. Being me, how I am, is what freedom is. And that will realize, I will realize freedom only when I am politically engaged. That is when I am performing action. Now, components of action. Now, understand what action. This is a third action. Action 2, then this is action 3. Now, this third action wale ko bhi we are going to bifurcate further. What will its component be? One is obviously freedom. Am I getting freedom from performing action? Yes, definitely. Second will be plurality. Plurality means not singularity, as simple as that. Plurality also can be bifurcated into two: equality and diversity. So, what is freedom? Think in terms of positive liberty only. Capacity to do something. Capacity. India. Freedom है. You are free. You are free to do anything, roam here to there, here to there. अरे but you do not have capacity. तभी तो we are lagging behind. Because skill development we never did. We never developed skills of the people. We have kept the schools very poor. Quality of education very very poor. So no capacity. What will you do with that freedom? यहाँ से यहाँ आ गए, अरे भैया चला तो रिक्शा ही रहे हो. Or let's say from here to here, Raj Thakre is very much against this thing. Bihari is coming into Maharashtra, but they are not coming there to work as engineer and software developers. They are coming there to drive vehicle. That too is auto and etc. No point of that. That is not total freedom. He is leaving his house, moving somewhere to work as a laborer. What is equality? You know what equality is. Every person same. And what diversity? Obviously, you live in India. You know what diversity is. But understand, Hannah Arendt has not seen a tolerant society. She was Jew and they were being killed. So according to her, she emphasized that by diversity is not just that every person is different and you should be tolerant to society. No, she's not talking in tolerance. There are context. You are not talking in tolerance के context में. What you are talking in context of is that every individual is irreplaceable. No one like that. Every thought that he had was unique. Everything that he saw was unique. Everything, every experience that he had was unique. Every person is unique. Every person. I'm not talking about religion or etc. I'm talking just basic human. Every human is different, irreplaceable. ठीक है. Now if now one more thing that you should know. You can relate freedom and diversity. Freedom and diversity. In Hannah Arendt, we see that she talks about diversity in not tolerant form but on the basis of uniqueness of every individual. That is, every individual is irreplaceable. And freedom is capacity, capacity to do something, anything. Now understand, when can man be free? When he has capacity. But you can be in a room and you can be a great, let's say, poet, and you can write a poem. Now what kind of freedom is this that you have developed? Poem, but you are, let's say, you are Galileo. If you know who Galileo is, so Galileo talked about earth being in center of the universe and, sorry, sun being in center of the universe and earth revolving around it. And he was good at this. What? Astronomy. He was very very good at this. Yet he was in house arrest because church did not like what he was saying. Now, had he capacity? Yes, he had the capacity. He knew astronomy in and out, in and out. He knew everything. He was very very, he was a genius. But he was not free. In India, as I said, we see that people are free कि यहाँ से वहाँ चले जाओ, वहाँ से यहाँ कुछ भी करो. ठीक है. You can urinate on roadside. So much freedom you have. But you do not have capacity. You do not know anything. You do not know anything. ठीक है. One of a student in Siddha group asked me what initially in higher classes what is Paris. मैंने कहा what kind of question is that, bro? So he said, no, I don't understand. How is Paris different from France? मैंने कहा how is Delhi different from India? So he said Delhi is capital. So मैंने कहा what is Paris? कहता country. So I said, no, bro, Paris is capital of France. His next question made me realize about capacity, at least his capacity. He said, okay, France also has capital. मैंने कहा अरे यार क्या what should I say? The capital, what is capital? कहता Delhi is capital. He do not know what is capital. Government sits there. कहता अच्छा अच्छा makes sense. So I am just saying this because I know he's not here in PSIR. Never mind. So build this concept very well. Capacity and freedom. I could have just, you see what I'm doing. I could have easily just said freedom and capacity and moved on, but I want you to understand these concepts very well because I know these words sound easy, but mm, it takes lot of time to understand the meaning of it. So Galileo had capacity, but he was not free. Now understand why was he not free? Because he cannot talk about his capacity or show his capacity to other people. What Hannah Arendt also says is that you can only be free when you are with people, different diverse people, तभी तो free हो. You can only exercise freedom, you can only exercise freedom among other people. Alone you cannot exercise freedom. You need people, presence of other people to exercise your freedom. That see other people are also here, but yet I am not attending the classes. I will skip. Now I am free. If other people are not there, ठीक है, in the classroom, let's say you are the only one. This is the teacher. Teacher is directly asking you, do you want to sit in the class or go out? You are saying, I am going out. I do not think I should study. I am alone. Bore हो जाऊंगा. Go out. What kind of freedom is it? This is nothing. Get it? Maybe this example is not very decent. You take this example and this example. Here you have freedom, capacity, no. Here you have capacity, Galileo के पास. Freedom, no. House arrest. Now let's talk about plurality also and freedom. You need presence of others to exercise your freedom. Similarly, what is plurality? Not singular, irreplaceable, unique. So when you are participating in politics, politics is not some one cause monocausal event. It is a continuous process. ठीक है? It is evolving process and it is multidimensional. So if every person is individual, every person is unique, different input everyone will give, then only this will be whole. Make sense? If this is whole, then only you will be exercising freedom. Minority. Let's say you are minority and nobody is talking about any of your right or any of your issues, what kind of freedom will you have? None. That is why you have representatives of your minorities also. You give special privileges to minorities because everyone participated when constituent assembly set. There were people from minority section of the society as well, tribal section also. ठीक है? Otherwise what you get is not freedom but completely different thing. What is going on in Nagaland? Nagalim, issues are not being raised. They feel like, "Arey bhai, nobody is giving a damn to us." Okay, so what you are asking us is that every person who is so diverse and unique, everyone participate in politics, and your politics will be whole. This sounds like key to peace. सोचो if constituent assembly में ही this issue could have been solved, how easy it would have been. Issue of JNK, if JNK issue could have been solved by getting input of all the JNK people and the Maharaja and the Indian people, that time only, no issue would have been there. So, what is Hannah Arendt supporting? She is supporting, or will also she's seeing United States of America culture. So, she is basically forwarding democracy. What kind of democracy? Deliberative, participatory, participative. Make sense? I hope you have made the chart like this only. Action, thought, फिर से action, फिर action. This is third, this is two, this is one. Now let's talk about speech. Relationship between action and speech. According to Hannah Arendt, action is speech and speech is action. There should be no difference in what we say and what we do. ठीक है? Now understand. अच्छे दिन आएंगे. आए? No. So what we say, what we do, not same. So here we see politics and ethics ka intermingling. Machiavelli was the one who bifurcated politics from ethics. Now we are seeing this line getting blurry. Hannah Arendt is trying to mix them. For her, let's say, politics ka role is not your business or self agenda, selfish reason. No, politics is for ethics. So if you say अच्छे दिन आएंगे तो लाओ भाई, ठीक है. Now with that said, let's talk about the important concept, power. Now, what is power? You have all heard this term power And Arendt will be talking about what is power, how does it originate, how does it emerge, what relevance it has, what is the real meaning of power. Is force power? Or let's say if I go build huge nuclear arsenal, is that power? Is strength power? Is Taliban powerful? How do I understand this? So understand, these all terms look very same. They appear similar, but they are not. Now understand what force is. Force is something that even nature has. Nature can have winds, or let's say your, what was, ye bulbul. What is bulbul? If you don't know, then you're not reading newspapers. So even nature has force. Now power, do you say that nature has power? No, you say nature, force of nature. ठीक है, you call it force of nature. But power is a concept that is not of nature but of society, right? So social sciences or social world, here we talk about power. We talk of force in physics. F is equal to mass into acceleration. Nature, because physics is study of nature. Force. Now strength. Strength is, you can be mentally very, you have very huge mental strength, or let's say your physical strength. So can we say it is about one person? One person also, we can say his characteristic nature. He could be having lot of strength, or he could be weak, strong or weak, mentally or physically. So it is about one person, one individual. Now, is power about one person? We say IS has lot of power. No, IAS is not powerful. He is powerful because when he is among other people, when he is among other people, he can direct them कि भाई let's do this, and others will listen. Credibility. Others are willing to listen and do according to your directions. Let's say you are general of an army. Are you powerful? No, you are not powerful. I will give you a slap, you will go down. But when you are among your, let's say, major, captain, lieutenant, colonel, your soldiers, they will obey you. This is what makes you powerful. So, alone, if you meet an IAS or a general or even Prime Minister Modi alone, you give a slap, what can they do? They will only fight. One on one fight, it will be one versus one. Nothing they can do. Normal human they are. But when others are there, when his battalion is here, when mass is here, especially Hindu, one word from them and they will start doing. Here they will start constructing something, development work. Here they will start shooting. Here they can, क्या बोलूँ यार मैं, they will start protecting cow. ठीक है, ऐसे ही ऑर्डर देता है ये तो. So power is social thing, not individual thing. Strength is about individual. Power is about collectiveness. You cannot exert power when you are alone. You need people to exert power. Now, violence. Who uses violence? Obviously, there is an ant. Can you say that, bhai, even if ant bites you, there are red ants, they bite. Even if a red ant bites you, even if a dog bites you, do you ever say that, bhaiya, I have been violated? Huge violence has been occurred upon me. No, you do not say. A mosquito bites you. Do you say that huge violence has occurred upon me? No, you do not say. But let's say your teacher, sir or ma'am, in college, she deducts 2 marks for you from you because you were talking in an exam. You will start saying, "अरे मैम ने तो आतंक मचा रखा है." It is violent. So you see, violence belongs to authority. Authority. It is used by authority, not ants or dogs or mosquitoes. Authority. If watchman or some rickshawala, he slaps you, you will say he is battamiz, he is ill-mannered, short-tempered, etc. But if some IAS officer slaps you, you will say, अरे violent आदमी है, mad आदमी है, corrupt है, power से mad हो गया है. So from authority only violence will come. Now, power, obviously it belongs to society. You need people around. General, he is authoritative in nature, but he won't be violating those. He can put violence on them, but it won't help him. He will lose status. What he can do is he can direct these guys to lay violence on, let's say, Pulwama, or let's say Pakistan. You are using power for violence coming from authority. But understand, these people also feel that we should be laying violence upon Pakistan. They will also be asking, or let's say giving consent for the general to exert this power. But again, one person below you cannot. So if that is done, what we can derive from this discussion, what can we derive about power? So it does not belong to world of nature, it belongs to world of human world. You remove human from the entire world, no power will be there, only forces of nature. Alone individual, will never have power. You need lots of people. ठीक है? Then only power emerges. So you need collectivity. Power belongs to people. People are the source of power. Because akele you cannot exert power. A general is not a general alone. He is general when he is with his fellow battalion, his army. When his army is there, then only he is a general, na? Then only he is powerful. Otherwise, अकेले तो तुम क्या भाई पीटो. Now, if that can you store power? Can you store power? Let's save some power. I will use it tomorrow. No, you cannot. For storing power, it means that power is something that is in your control, but it is not in your control. It emerges on its own. When does it emerge? When people come together. When in 2012 protests against corruption were going on, who became powerful? Anna Hazare and Kejriwal. How he was just an IRS officer, how come he have so much power? Because people came together. Did he have to do anything? No. Power emerged on its own. Is there any certificate with him that you have power? Or let's say, can you say that Kejriwal is not powerful? You cannot say. Power needs no legitimization. If you are powerful, you are powerful. That's it. Nobody can say, "Arey nahi yaar, you are not powerful." Either you will be or not. ठीक है? Is there any good power or bad power? Bad power is nothing. Violence. There is only good power. There is no bad power. You call it violence. That's it. And violence one person also can do. Kasab. ठीक है? It was violence. It was not because people were with him. It was because huge guns were with him. That's it. Power is when lot of people are there and one person is there and everybody listen. Yeah, this is power. ठीक है? With that said, let's talk about Gandhi. Gandhi was one weak person with one danda and specs. He was the most powerful guy at that time. Why? Because he had support of the masses. So one voice, you gave them one voice and you said, "Bhai, quit India." You are aggregating सबकी voice and saying quit India. Result? Freedom. What was Gandhi? Power. How did it emerge? When people came together. Can we say power is the source of freedom? Yes. Power is source of freedom. Power belongs to people. Can violence be source of freedom? North Korea. Kim Jong Chun. Do you really think people want him to be the supreme leader? No, he is alone. He is authority. He uses violence to control. You use violence to control. Violence can never give you freedom. Power can. Yet we see that bhai Marx says that workers unite, kill capitalists, kill capitalists, you will get freedom. Right now you are in chains. That is why Hannah Arendt says Marx wanted to kill capitalists and Hitler wanted to kill Jews. Nothing else. All same. ठीक है. थक गए यार. Now, what do you call this? When I talked about Gandhi, I said that lot of people and सबकी voice you are uniting one Gandhi with one stick and chashma. You are saying quit India. Different voice, different voice, different voice, different languages. You are collectivizing them. You call it concert. Ability to speak in one voice. सब एक साथ saying quit India. Power only is giving you that. Ultimately giving you freedom. But क्या ही freedom है? Just that we are corrupt now, not a foreign power. His last book, Eichmann in Jerusalem. There is a huge concept here which she gave, and you should watch the movie Hannah Arendt, the last part at least, where she in the lecture room she says banality of evil. What is the face of evil? What is evil? You know who Eichmann was? Eichmann was the IPS officer of Germany that gave all the orders, executed all the orders of killing Jews. They made shoes from skins of the Jews, dead Jews. Obviously, क्योंकि dead body का क्या करेंगे? Let's make leather from it. ठीक है. Not practical, but still. Now, understand the theme of the paper. This is something that she wrote for a newspaper article. What she did was she went to the trial of this person, Eichmann, who was a Nazi official, and she tried to interpret कि भाई what is there that is making him so evil. And you look at his photo, he looks like a very cute fellow. Specs he's wearing, very normal he looks. You cannot think from looking at him कि भाई this person could have done something so heinous, like our Supreme Court says, heinous, evil. And it does not make sense. How can he look so decent and pyara sa, but being so corrupt and evil? And she came to a conclusion, and that conclusion became controversial. What was it? Let's see. The main person who was responsible for killing of Jews is the person who, see, action or thinking, which is more important? Action is more important. Thinking of killing of Jews or doing killing of Jews? What is more important? This is more important. ये तो Hitler did. Who is doing the action? Eichmann, the bureaucrat, the IPS of Germany. Now, conclusion that Hannah Arendt gave was that he was not the real culprit. Now you would think that Hitler was. No, but he was not. You will ask that why Hannah? Why is he not a culprit? She said because he is just a bureaucrat. Just a bureaucrat. He was just following orders, just following his duty, nothing else. Because that guy in trial, in the movie, I've seen this, he was asked by the judge, do you feel sorrow for what you did? And he said that I do not feel sorry for anything. Nothing as, I have done nothing. It was my duty, it was my job. कहता, it would have been bad if I had not followed the order. If I had not followed the order, that would be against my duty, against my job. It was my duty, it was my job. I am loyal to my nation. It was my nation. It was my state's order. I had to follow it. Not doing it is like going against your state. Going against your state. I love my state, Germany. He was asked, Arey bhai, you have killed so much, so many people. You have committed such a grave crime. And he said, no, I have not. Duty is just duty. You do not question it. Duty is duty. It was command of the state. My state, sovereign power, no authority above it. If it is directing, if it is giving me an order, it is an order, nothing else. So, what Hannah Arendt interprets from all of this is a culture of blind obedience that was nurtured in Germany. See, जब से 2019 election has been done, 4 IS officers have left. 4 young IS. See, when you are very young in bureaucracy, in civil services, when you are very young, just joined. Let's say Naveen sir has joined. So he's doing this Magic Mala initiative. You are very ethical. You are very, just like Plato, very idealist. And this is the way for around 10 years. You stay like that, idealist. You think that everything you will change. Education system you will change. You will change this, you will change that. After that, you start becoming realist. You see reality. You, because age also is a factor. Your age is start increasing, your motivation keeps on decreasing, your idealism starts to decrease. But we see that after 2019 elections, 4 IAS officers have resigned. अलग अलग टाइम पे, नॉट एक साथ, different different cadres, but 4 have. What this signifies is again the same thing. You need a bureaucracy that are like this: duty is duty, no question, nothing asked. Okay, and if you are able or capable of deciding between what is right, what is wrong, you will feel the pressure, you will feel the heat of the state government, you'll feel the heat of union government directives. There is no reward for idealism, there is no reward for being ethical, only punishment. But we see this, so that is why I say Modi is very authoritative. No, not Modi, I think Amit Shah is authoritative. It is a party democracy, not a person's democracy. One person, Modi, cannot have so much power. BJP has, whoever will be controlling BJP, that person will. तो काफी politicized रख दिया आज की क्लास है ना. Never mind. Don't make my opinions your opinions. ठीक है? And don't tell anyone that bhai I am talking like this, because sedition charges, sedition charges. If there are sedition charges on me, who will teach you? ठीक है? सिर्फ सिलेबस करना है, sedition मत लगाओ. Anyhow, now Eichmann was asked what was his motivation. What you were doing was something lots of people would get fainted, बेहोश हो जाएंगे, yet you did. So what was your motivation? And he said, भाई just promotion. ठीक है. So Hannah Arendt says, people who commit crimes are neither monsters, psychopaths, sociopaths, or brilliant. They are just bureaucrats. Now, bureaucracy is not what bureaucracy is. This is bureaucracy. It is pyramid for unifying decision making. One order he giving and rest are following. No questions. Everybody has a chain of command. Everybody follows above law. इन्होंने क्या बोला? Do that. इन्होंने क्या बोला? Do that. Do that. Do that. So if you have good relationship, let's say here, you see how constables are often spoken to very in ill-mannered or abuses by a person with big car, because he is friends with this guy above in chain. He thinks he is entitled, that he can abuse this constable, or let's say this SI sub inspector, because he is friend with this DSP. ठीक है? Because he thinks that who will you complain to? Complaint will come here. He will say kya re bhai, nothing will happen. This is what happens. So what is the issue with Eichmann according to Hannah? It is not about Eichmann. Eichmann is not the issue. One person is not to be blamed here. For simple reason of promotion, he is doing this thing, executing this thing. It means that he does not know what is right and what is wrong. So he has lost his capacity to think. When you do not have capacity to think, you do not have capacity to operate. So you are operating without thinking. It is like you are driving a car, but your eyes are closed. You are operating, you are giving, executing directions, but you have no policy making. Policy making quality you don't have. You don't know what you are doing. Let's say you are doing Swachh Bharat Abhiyan. Open defecation free you have granted, let's say, okay. But what about the sewage? Who will clean that? Manual scavengers. ठीक है, इनकी तो प्रॉब्लम बढ़ जाएगी. So you should also take care of them. You should make good pipes, but nobody is doing that. ठीक है, on paper होता है सब. Anyhow, so penalty of evil. Let's come to the final part. Evil becomes banal. People killing people for protecting cow. You daily read this, but it feels normal. ठीक है, होता है तो. You read about humiliation and rape victims of the ages of, I have read as low age as 8 months, 2 years. This is age. I do not know how is it possible. Not mentally, even physically. And why would somebody want to engage in that activity? But it seems normal कि होता ही है शायद. These are grave evils, grave crimes. No culture, no society will. Not cow killing people for cow in the name of cow protection. अरे cow है यार, पूरा USA eats cow. What will you do? ठीक है, you have problem, but there is law. Why do you have to kill a person? A person is more important than cow. Apparently, Sambit Patra says so. That cow is also man. It makes no sense, but then again, what can we say? They are from medieval ages आ गए भाई. Medieval ages की party है BJP. Medieval ages talking about religion. Every place they are talking about development. You are talking. Never mind. I get too much deviated when talk about the. So the issue is that these are not regular thing. They are very very absurd and heinous things, but they we have been learning and reading about them for so long in movies, in newspapers, in news channels, that they appear normal now. That ठीक है, होता ही होगा. But they are not. These things have become banal. When Eichmann was executing lots of Jews, it was not because he was killing Jews. Everybody was like that. Everybody wanted these Jews to get removed. Plus, it was not that he had the only execution camp, there were other camps also. He was seeing this thing कि हाँ Jews को चलो गैस चेम्बर में डाल दो. Then somebody is researching कि what are the better ways to kill Jews. ठीक है, these were proper researches that were done in Nazi Germany. So it became very normal, very normal to execute Jews. It was like, chalo, morning 6 o'clock Hindu newspaper done, then 7:30 NCRT done, फिर 9 o'clock kill Jews, then okay 10 o'clock breakfast. It becomes like that in newspaper also, reading about rapes, Jews, killing, etc. So evil is becoming very normal, banal. It starts living with us in our head, in our mind. It becomes part of us. And when it becomes part of us, it does not look. Do you think that you are evil? No. It becomes part of you. It is living with you. It is your family member now. Do you think your father is a bad person or your mother is a bad person or your brother is a bad person? No. It becomes family. And when it becomes family, it does not look evil. It becomes faceless. Mob. Is there any face of mob? No. Evil. Mob. Faceless. When and why? See, think about it. 1992, Babri Masjid was demolished. Let's say this was Babri Masjid. How come one person, Advani, influenced so many people to go and demolish this structure? Because they were, apply Arendt, depoliticized masses. Depoliticized masses, not knowing what is the politics, not engaging in politics. They do not want भैया के job दे दो, या फिर let's grow economy, or let's remove red tapes, ठीक है, or let's ease the FDI policy, or let's give subsidy for exports. No, they do not want to do that. They do not have any idea, and they are depoliticized. At this level, when you have no idea of these things, somebody is saying, "अरे nine राम मंदिर बनेगा." So their main issue is that they do not want job growth, FDI or export subsidy. They want temple. These poor people, poor fellow. Why? Identity, identity, and time. Who will have time? I won't have time, bhai. I have to teach you guys. Even if you appeal to my identity, I am don't have this identity, but even if I had, I won't be going. These are going. Who are these? Do you really think one of them would be MBBS, or one of them would be a CA, or one of them an engineer? I don't know. They are roadside people who are going and destructing, destroying that structure. Demagogic leaders appeal to your emotions because they can't appeal to anything else. They can appeal to your emotion. In the end, you are the subject. You want temple, manufactured desire. Either you will get it or not get it. It is completely up to you. You do not also care, technically. You just had fun. Meanwhile, What do you get? Legitimacy. See, power. You exercise power. Power. Power has. Power requires no legitimacy. So if you have power, if you can exercise power, you automatically get legitimacy. Bala Sahib Thackeray in Maharashtra, he could stop Maharashtra in 1 minute. He was also having identity politics. Maratha. Jai Maratha. As soon as people assemble for riots, what you get is power. You exercise power when people are there. And as soon as you exercise power, automatically you get legitimized. Because power needs no legitimacy. ठीक है? Now, can you say what were the name of these guys? No, faceless. Lynching. Do you know who were involved in lynchings? No. Mob game, mob game. This is what they were saying always. No face. Do you think there is a brain in this mob? No brain. Do you think this Sena, Karni Sena, whatever it was that destroyed the structure had a brain? No brain. No brain. Similarly, evil has no brain when it starts living with you. When it becomes a family part, it does not appear evil. It becomes faceless. Everybody was killing Jews. It was normal to kill Jew. You do not have to apply brain. It seems normal because as soon as you apply brain, you will realize, nah, this is wrong. So it means only one thing. You are not applying rationality or brain. You are just following orders. And this is one of the, you can say, criticism of bureaucratic culture. Bureaucratic culture. We are seeing that on rise. With that, I think I today काफी philosophical हो गया. Actually, the topic is very unsettling for me. That is why काफी unsettling सा है ये पूरा topic. Anyhow, चलो, bye bye. We will start with ideologies. Cool. Or maybe something else. The thing is that I have also started taking polity for another batch. Siddha. Now the thing is I get too tired shifting from here ideologies because I do not do this PPT wali thing. So you tell me, PPT if I do, then I have to do technically nothing. Just start saying PPT, yeah, 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 yeah. But that is actually boring for me. I like to teach from mind with books, doing everything very holistically. ठीक है, that is my way. I like to write also, so because it keeps me engaged. Plus, that is why class becomes so long because exhaustively I'm trying to cover. So, how do I manage this? Should I start with part B so that polity instead also becomes parallel? Chalo, I will think about it. Abhi, we have done Western political thought total. ठीक है. Now Western political thought is done. What we have left is theories. उसके बाद है Indian political thought and ideologies. ठीक है. So we have done with this. Ideologies I think I will start with. बेटर रहेगा क्योंकि ये 2-3 क्लास में निपटा दूंगा. capitalism, socialism, Marxism. What else is there? Mm-hmm. Feminism, fascism, है ना? फिर कैपिटलिज्म क्या है? लिबरलिज्म, ठीक है, फिर ये हो जाएगा. देन वी विल ट्राई टू थ्योरीज इज नथिंग, पूरा वेस्टर्न पॉलिटिकल थॉट को कंबाइन करेंगे, समझेंगे. दैट्स इट. इंडियन पॉलिटिकल थॉट इज बोरिंग बिकॉज करेक्ट, कौटिल्य, हेमन रॉय, ये सब है इसमें, बोरिंग पीपल. ठीक है. गांधी, actually we have read about them so much that they become boring after a time. अब मैकियावेली सुनने में you must have been feeling अरे न्यू थिंग, बट गांधी गांधी गांधी, नोट पे भी गांधी, हर जगह गांधी. चलो, एनी हाउ, आई विल सी what to do. Bye bye.